So you're thinking about moving to Aledo, Texas. Well, in this video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons, the ins and outs. And if you stick around to the very end, we're going to talk about a brand new community that's coming to Aledo.
And if this is your first time to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to be the first to know what's happening in the Texas real estate market, go ahead and hit that bell.
Welcome to the channel. My name is Tom Jung.
And I'm Jack Lisenby.
And we are your local Dallas-Fort Worth real estate agents. If you are looking to buy or sell, we would love to work with you, whether you're a few days or a few months out. We get phone calls every day from folks just like you. So please don't hesitate to let us know. And if you are watching this video and you live in Aledo, please do write in the comments your pros and cons. This is our perspective, and obviously it would be super helpful from other folks that live in Aledo to let the newcomers know what it's like. So anyways, what would you say is the general feel of Aledo?
Very safe and quiet. And I know I always say, like, oh, this feels like a small town next, but you're close enough to everything else. No, Aledo's like where you get away, because you feel Fort Worth fade away very quickly as you drive down that highway to get to Aledo, and then there's just like this little oasis, this little spot of life in the middle of like the flatness that is Texas, and that's Aledo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've always thought of Aledo as more of a wealthy place to be. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't know. I've always thought it was like where the wealthy people that don't want to do like the whole city life thing.
Right.
There you go. Yeah.
The millionaires who don't want to live in those high-rise condos, they go to Aledo.
Exactly. So anyways, yeah, so I guess let's kick it off. Where is Aledo located?
So for reference, Aledo is due west of the Fort Worth area, which makes it about a 25-minute drive out from the city center. If you're trying to get to Arlington from there, it's going to be about 40 minutes, and the same could be said about the DFW airport. Dallas is going to be a whole hour away if the traffic's good, and Weatherford is probably its closest big neighbor, is about 20 minutes to the north.
All right, and if you are looking for shopping and that kind of thing, probably the Hewlin area and Clear Fork in Fort Worth is going to be the closest. That's probably 25 minutes away.
They've got a couple of small shops and stuff like that, like boutiques and whatnot. Nothing crazy over in Aledo. Aledo is really more about just living.
Yeah, just about living.
And schools.
That's a great slogan. We're just about living.
Yeah.
Cool. So schools, yeah. Schools are very good here. They're all A-rated across the board. Can't go wrong. And I think the one thing that Aledo is really well known for is their football.
Really?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I never really followed sports.
Yeah. So, yeah, the high school football, it's always been a big thing over there. I think they have a pretty good baseball program as well. But a lot of folks will move to Aledo for football.
I could see that. Yeah, it's Texas. They'll do a lot of things for high school football.
Yeah, so if that's a trajectory you want to put your kids on, it's a good spot to land. Yeah. How about crime?
Crime,
does it exist?
Barely any. It's probably like petty crime, like, oh no, some kid TP'd my house, because out of 1,000 people, less than 9 per 1,000 in Aledo
that's pretty good,
will commit a crime. And so the Texas average is like 27. It's like less than a third.
Oh wow.
And then the crime per square mile is only like 19 per square mile, which is about half, a little bit more than half of Texas's average of about, again, 27, 28.
Okay. Very, very good. But again, there's not, and another reason for this, there's not a lot in Aledo, right? So it's like if you drive through downtown Aledo.
Downtown?
Yeah. Air quotes. If you blink, you might miss it. Like there's, like you said, just a few.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough that you don't have to leave Aledo at any point in time. You've got like, there's I know there's a grocery store, there's like some restaurants and stuff like that, and you can like places to go get your hair and nails done, but I wouldn't go there. It's like I wouldn't go out of my way to go shopping at Aledo.
Nobody goes from other towns to Aledo to shop.
Right.
Let's put it that way. But yeah, so yeah, like you mentioned, I think you pretty much nailed all the stuff they have to do there. They've got they do have a golf course. It's a semi-private course, which I think means that you have to be a member or a guest of a member, and that is Split Rail Golf Club.
Looks really nice from what I saw, though.
Yeah, it looks to be a pretty wide open course.
Have you ever played that one?
No.
Oh, we got to find you somebody
I
to
know.
get the
Yeah.
hookup.
Yep. I'm available if you need a partner. But other than that, let's see. They have a movie people studio.
Yeah, so this one I actually ran across. It's a they do theater and acting training.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a theater, but the fact that they put movie in there kind of threw me off. I was like, it's not a movie theater, but they perform. They do live performances.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Freedom Fun USA.
Yeah, so this one it's an event center. It's sort of like a main event kind of thing,
Okay.
but it's more geared towards kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from that, you're probably gonna be out there riding horses, maybe riding some bikes,
Yeah.
hunting.
Yeah, there's plenty of outdoor stuff to do, as well as they're really big into fitness centers and stuff like that. There's plenty of small gyms, boutique fitness centers. I think they have I think it was an LA Fitness or something like that out by the highway. I didn't include it because it was one of those big box things, so
Sure.
it's like let's keep it more Aledo-esque.
I gotcha.
But yeah, fitness is definitely available in the area.
Okay. And then outside like the taco casas, how's
Yeah.
dining do?
As far as dining goes, they do have a lot of Mexican food. You know, it's Texas. You're gonna run across that. We have things like the Nelly's Taqueria, and then we have Montez Burrito. But there's also Paleo's Pizza Cafe. So if you're into like mid-grade Italian, that's the place to go. Just something to get your carb fix. There's Yesterday's Sandwich Shop, which actually I've heard good things about this. I think there's another one. I want to say it isn't in Texas, but I've heard that name before, and I've heard
Such
good
a
things
weird
about
name.
it. It may just be a coincidence,
Hey,
but
here's
I was
our
like,
leftovers.
there's no way two people. Yeah, but it has great reviews on Yelp. This one does at least. And then you also have the Aledo Diner. So if you're looking for just something low key, sit down restaurant like a local Denny's, this is the place to go.
I feel like that's the place that like Ed and Joe show up to
Yeah,
every
it's
day.
the place where you
like-
have your regulars.
Yeah.
Everyone sits in the same spot, same time.
Never been. I don't know. If that's
Yeah.
true. Cool. And then as far as places to live, so there's a ton of housing types, and we're gonna have our video on everything you need to know about the Aledo housing. But yeah, ton of housing, a lot of properties that have land. Like so, until recently, I feel like you didn't really see a whole lot of cookie cutter subdivisions in Aledo.
No. Yeah, everything looked like individual, unique.
Yeah, so if you're looking for that more rural, if you're looking for some land, Aledo is definitely a good option. And then, yeah, last but not least, so there is a new neighborhood going in that's creating a little bit of a buzz, tiny buzz. There is a new golf community going in on the southeast side of Aledo, right off of 377, and it's called Avanzada. Which I know, that's why I was like, man, that's
Interesting.
I have the hardest time remembering that name, but apparently it stands for outpost. It's Spanish for outpost.
Okay.
And the idea behind it is it's, far enough away, and I think you should be able to see downtown Fort Worth from some different views up there. There's like, so the golf course that they're planning is going to span over 1,000 acres, and the elevation, from the lowest point that runs along Bear Creek to some of the cliffs is like 1,000 feet. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, so hopefully there's some good elevation on the golf course. And then they're planning to build a bunch of higher end homes around there. They've got plans for currently like 650 that are going to be on a third of an acre to an acre. And I'm pretty sure that those are going to start, well over $700,000 or $800,000, I would think, and go up from there.
And is this going to be a public course, or is this going to be another private one for the community?
I think it's going to be private, but there's not a lot of details on it yet.
Okay.
They're wanting it to have a bunch of amenities and things like that. But, if you've only got 650 houses, how many amenities can you really have? And they want to have shopping and all that kind of stuff, which they're reserving. Like there's a bunch of other neighborhoods right along 377, and there's really not a whole lot of shopping or anything except for in Benbrook, and there's not a ton there. So I think there is a strong possibility for like there to be some real good commercial development in that area.
That's
and maybe
pretty
that
cool.
commercial, it's more than likely that'll sit on 377, and then the neighborhood will be behind it. But,
Right. Okay.
anyways, golf course, they're planning to have it open in the fall of 2024. And houses are already, I don't know if they're being built yet. Last time I was out there was 2 months ago, and they were putting roads in. So it's in the works.
I mean, that's pretty cool. And for just a note for anyone who may be considering moving to Aledo, if you like trains, this is also the place to go, because we have trains everywhere in DFW. It's kind of like how DFW came to be. But in DFW, I feel like you're a little too close to the trains. Like, we literally have the Davidson Yard right across the street over here. But Aledo has a cool little, you just get a taste of trains. So they do have a train track that goes through the main part of town. And you'll notice whenever you go there, there's a lot of like railroad themed decorations and stuff like that. Like, kids paint pictures of trains in the classroom. Like, they theme restaurants after the railroad and stuff like that. And it's cool because like maybe once or twice a month it'll go through there. Doesn't really block traffic or anything because there's no stops along the way anymore. So if you got any railroad enthusiasts, it's a cool little treat for the kids to go see one drive by.
And wasn't it? I was reading the history on it that you had put on here. It was the main point for trading buffalo hides.
Apparently, yeah. It was a little outpost for skin trading at the time.
Yeah, so that's cool. Oh, and the golf course, J.J. Henry, if you know who that is.
No, I don't.
He went to TCU. He was a professional golfer in the PGA, and he won 3 PGA tournaments over the course of his career, 24 years. Which 3 doesn't seem like a lot when you compare it to Tiger.
Hey, but I mean, like at a level like PGA, 1 would be great.
Yeah, but apparently that was enough to win him at least $16 million in all of this. So more of the story is get your kid into golf.
For real.
Anyways, I think that's all we got for this one. Thanks for tuning in as always. And if you're looking to buy or sell, remember to keep calm. Call Tom.